Hello students, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Sir Roy, your science teacher, and for this week, we will be talking about what happens when volcanoes erupt. The most essential learning competency that will be covered for our lesson is to explain what happens when volcanoes erupt. But before we move on to our main topic, let us first have a review of the types of volcano according to shape. Can you guess what type of volcano is this? Good. This is a composite volcano or a stratovolcano. How about this one? Nice. This is a cinder cone volcano. And how about the last picture? Good. This is a shield volcano. Again, the three types of volcano are composite, cinder cone, and shield volcano. Now, let us have our review on the types of volcanic eruption. Can you guess what type of eruption is this? Very good. This is a phreatic eruption or hydrothermal eruption. How about this one? Exactly. This is a phreatomagmatic eruption. This one. Precisely. This is a strombolian. And then how about this one? Good. It is volcanian. And the last type we have here, plinian. Very well said. I guess you are already familiar with our previous lesson. Now let us move on to our main topic. At this juncture, let us have a simple activity about unlocking of difficulties. Can you guess our first word? The clue is, it is a molten rock that has reached the Earth's surface and been thrown out or has flowed from a volcano or volcanic vent. Very good, this is a lava. How about our second word? Our clue is it is a molten or partly molten rock beneath the surface of the Earth. Very nice. This is what we called as the magma. Next, how about this word? These are volcanoes which erupted since the last ice age or in the past 10,000 years. Good. This is a active volcano. And the last term, one that has erupted in the past 10,000 years but which is expected to erupt again. Exactly, that is a dormant volcano or also known as the inactive volcano. Now let us proceed to our main lesson. How are we going to define the word volcanic eruption? It occurs when there is a sudden or continuing release of energy caused by near surface or surface magma movement. During volcanic eruption, there can be an occurrence of an earthquake or the shaking of the ground, gas emission at the surface. There can also be the release of heat because of the magma. There is also an explosive release of gases. And in some cases, there are non-explosive extrusion or intrusion of magma. Now, we can classify volcanoes depending on their rate of eruption. The first classification is what we know as the active volcanoes. They have a record of eruption within the last 600 years or those that erupted 10,000 years ago based on the analysis of their materials. We can also say that a volcano is active if it erupts in a regular basis or at a regular interval. The opposite of active volcano are what we call as inactive volcanoes. They have not erupted for the last 10,000 years, and their physical form is being changed by the agents of weathering and erosion through the formation of deep and long gullies. From this classification of volcanoes, we can conclude the different stages of a volcano. These include the first one, which is an active volcano. An active volcano is one which has recently erupted, and there is a possibility that it may erupt soon. As we can see in the illustration, there is a presence of magma in the magma chamber. On the other hand, when we speak of a dormant or inactive volcano, it is one which has not erupted in a long time, but there is a possibly erupt in the future. Mean to say, since a dormant volcano still contains magma on its magma chamber, therefore there is a possibility that it may erupt in the future. And the last stage of volcano is what we call as the extinct volcano. It is defined as one which has erupted thousands of hundreds of years ago, and there is no possibility of eruption. As you can see, its magma chamber is already empty, meaning to say there is no presence of magma. Therefore, there is no possibility that it will erupt again. Again, the stages of volcano are active, dormant, and extinct. Now, how do volcanoes erupt? I want you to look at this particular illustration. This is an eruption that occurs inland. Volcanoes erupt when molten rock called magma rises to the surface. Magma is formed when the Earth's mantle melts. Melting may happen where tectonic plates are pulling apart or when one plate is pushed down another. Magma is lighter than the rock, so it rises towards the Earth's surface. As the magma rises, the bubble of gas forms inside it. Runny magma erupts through the openings or the vents in the Earth's crust before flowing into the surface as lava. If magma is thick, gas bubbles cannot easily escape, and pressure builds up as the magma rises. When the pressure is too much, an explosive eruption can happen, which can be dangerous and destructive. There are also the presence of volcanoes under the ocean or in the bodies of water. So this one illustrates an eruption in water. Another way of eruption happen is when water underneath the surface interact with the hot magma and create steam. This can build up enough pressure to cause an explosion. Eruption in water or in bodies of water causes the formation of volcanic islands. Now, volcanic eruption can be further classified into either explosive, mean to say there is an explosion, and non-explosive. When speak of explosive eruption, it occurs when magma is thick and does not flow easily. Therefore, it may block the vent of a volcano. When speak of the vent, that is the pathway or the channel where the magma rises. Gas pressure grows until the volcano erupts in an explosion. On the other hand, when speak of the non-explosive eruption, it occurs when magma is thin and flows easily. Lava flows up of the volcano rather than blocking the vent, and little or no gas forms inside the volcano. The lava simply pours out and flows over the ground like a river. That's why we can also say that non-explosive eruption is a quiet eruption. Now, let us identify the different factors affecting the volcano's eruptive style. We have the magma's temperature, magma's chemical composition, and the amount of dissolved gases. Let us first focus on magma's temperature. Here we can say that the higher the temperature of the magma is, the lower its viscosity is. When we speak of viscosity, we are referring to the thickness of the fluid. The viscosity of magma decreases with temperature. As lava flows, it cools and begins to harden. Its ability to flow decreases and eventually stops. The second one is magma's chemical composition. The magma that contains less silica is relatively fluid and travels far before solidifying. On the other hand, magma with high silica content are more viscous than those with low silica content. And the last factor is the amount of dissolved gases. Other factors being equal, gas dissolved in magma tends to increase its ability to flow. Therefore, the loss of gases makes magma more viscous, forming a dome. At this juncture, let us identify the different effects of volcanic eruption. Let us first start with the positive effects. The first one is it creates dramatic scenery that attracts the tourists, just like in the case of Mount Mayon, which is very famous in Legazpi Albay. The second one, it creates fertile soil. Having said that, it is good for agriculture or plantation. And volcanic eruption or the existence of volcano can be source of geothermal energy. From the word geo meaning earth and thermal meaning heat. It is about harnessing the heat coming from the earth in order to generate electricity. How about the negative effects of volcanic eruption? Many lives can be lost as a result of eruption. Not only the lives of humans but also those of the animals and the plants. Lava flows and lahar can destroy settlement. It can destroy the different properties and houses of human. And the last one, natural and artificial landscape can be destroyed either temporarily or permanently. These are the different references that I made use for this presentation. Hey students, thank you for watching and see you in our next meeting. Goodbye.